Welcome everyone to this week's edition of Where's Your Stop by Hawking Alpha. It is July 30th, 2014. Lots of stocks in the news, and definitely what we've been getting asked about lately is with regards to the utilities. And in terms of, you've seen a lot of money flow going back into them in a very defensive manner, as you've seen kind of sector rotation occur, even though the market continues to kind of grind to new highs. One of the names that we were asked about this week was good old Duke Energy. So with Duke Energy, we can take a broader look at this guy. Obviously, very long-term trend, and because of that, it's also had an excess amount of essentially volatility, which has caused some whipsaws, but then some trends to be captured. Now, interestingly enough, Duke, for us the last time, was taken out of its long trade right around here in basically June of 2013. And then the next signal that we got was really at the end of January in 2014. And that's really coinciding with where we have seen a lot of the sector and internal volume flow in terms of utilities that everybody has talked about so much lately. But the key thing that we want to point out here is that even though it's utility, and usually everybody likes utilities for being quote unquote quieter. What we can see is that from the day-to-day perspective, the volatility on a name like Duke is a lot larger than what most people think. And so for us, we had entry all the way up at 70, and yet our initial stop was all the way down here at 62. There's that much volatility that was really baked in, and you can see that we're really outside of the noise in these ranges. As time has gone by, we have moved that up, closer and closer to that 65.5 mark, and then technically we just got moved up a little bit here in this past day as time has continued to grind on here. But you can see here that really staying very far outside the noise, not tracking very close, which means that utilities really have a lot of room and a lot of give in terms of in relation to other names volatility wise. Now, obviously we don't know the future, but you can see that Duke continues to make higher lows from a very practical standpoint. So we will be watching, this low from a very practical standpoint. Obviously, the higher lows, but the continuing kind of resistance around that 75 area. To break through that spot at 75 would be a very positive sign for Duke. And you can continue to see movement to the upside, but in terms of protectionary measure in case of any type of market drawdown, am not surprised that a name like Duke is having excess volatility and a little bit more give in relation to that volatility. So make sure you're staying outside the noise, and as always, hit us out with any questions or comments on anything that you want us to look at, just like someone did for us with Duke Energy. All right, to helping you beat random and staying outside the noise, we'll talk with you guys next week.